You join us live in the final 5 minutes of practice in the BeWater iRacing Series Final from Homestead-Miami. Drivers preparing their last few laps while we get them ready to drive for a total prize pool of over $2,000. Before we get tonight's festivities started, our very own Jordan Bain comes together with his very own season review for this inaugural BeWater Series. Sit tight and enjoy.
$37 pitting this time.
19 pitting this time.
21 this time.
Wrecking on pit road.
God, are you fucking serious?
Stay low, stay low. Wrecking.
Right in front of us, guys, watch out. Right in front of us, 3-4, watch out.
I got stuck on the bottom for a few laps, and I think I killed my stuff. By the time Tristan got to me, I pretty much had nothing for him. He was tearing through the field the whole race, and even in the early runs I saw. So, huge props to him. He definitely earned the win.
The reason why I always stay out long is I feel like, even though it's like a 2-lap difference between me and Gabe, I feel like that does matter a lot. Because, I mean, I don't know, it's just the way these cars run. I've run them so many times, they just feel different with just even a few laps fresher tires.
Tell me what you were thinking.
I just knew when I was gonna go. I had a point on the track that I knew I needed to go at. That I actually did that earlier in the night, but I didn't get that good of a run earlier in the night like that. So yeah, not really going to give much more than that, but
Good
I had a
job.
place on the racetrack.
Practice maybe. I had nothing for Aaron. I don't know anything about the next gen car. Like that was me coming.
I had no shot at Aaron. He was by far the fastest out of everybody.
Not sure where the speed came from. I thought there were a couple guys in that first practice who'd have some speed on me tonight, but we found the braking points and worked from there. I didn't really know how hard I'd have to brake to get things to lock up, but fortunately we didn't have any problems with that tonight. But
Oh my God, Blake, I'm so sorry, dude. I was on the brakes. I was trying not to pack you, man. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh!
That is most likely my fault, and I'm extremely sorry.
Good race, Tim. Way to back up to you there.
this series is very challenging and unique because of the different series that we run at the different racetrack. I just took all race to try to learn the momentum, learn the rhythm, and that last green flag run I really started getting it, and then we just had a money and fire pit stop. The filter time boys got me out quick to get the clean air.
After 7 rounds, the 8th one comes to Homestead-Miami. Raleigh Grant Davis, RGD in the 2.5 boosted Chevrolet, comes into tonight 3rd in points. 7 rounds complete, 1/8 race to finish, $500 on the line for the champion, over $2,000 in the complete prize pool. Drew Jua comes into tonight's race with a 6-point lead over Aaron Smith II. Jua starting 16th in the number 41 BeWater Chevrolet. 100 laps, 150 miles to decide the champion. 7 races down and the 8th race to decide it. Gabe Ellison, RGD on the front row. One more time. Let's go racing. Wreck already in turn number 1. The 2-3 of Jose Ruiz goes around. Caution is out. 3, 4, 5 trucks involved. And the 2-3 afflicted in this first incident. One more truck pinned up against him. And that looks like it could be the 6-0 of Terry Radford. And it is the 6-0 of Terry Radford. Coming through in a heavily armored Chevrolet Silverado. Jose Ruiz in the K&N Ford F-150. Riddled in turn number 1. Well, it can only go uphill from here. Let's see what caused the caution to come out in lap number 1 of the BeWater Grand Final. Going to green, Jose Ruiz starting on the outside of Cole Snyder in that 2-4 truck. Brooklyn's Nick Cressy up ahead in the 94. 2-3 just getting loose on cold tires must have been. The 7-3 of Justin Malarkey's involved. The 5 of Michael York makes it through. Look at the 2-2 of J-Paw making it through. Josh Arnold to you. Let's see if we can get a cockpit view from that 22 truck. J-Paw Arnold making his way, slicing and dicing and staying alive in this championship final. Watch this. Riding along with Arnold now. We got to take one more look. Did the 22 make it through without a scratch? This is for a Cole Trickle Award. This is serious stuff. There goes the 2-2 taking off. Again, this is the green flag. If you're just tuning in, you have not missed a thing except that amazing season review courtesy of Jordan Bain. Props to Jordan for putting that together. Here's the 22 of Josh Arnold, and he makes it through. Oh, no, he does get a hit from the 8 truck. That 8 truck getting right into the back end of truck 22. That's going to rob Josh Arnold of his Cole Trickle move of the race. Same for that 8 truck as well. Who is driving that 8 truck? Let's find out. That's Byron Jones, who got... there's the damage on the front of the TJ's team Chevrolet. He's been damaged in a big way. Jones, from that slam to the back end of Arnold in the 2-2, now having to jump to pit road. Not sure what's going on, but we do know that Gabe Ellison is leading this race. The lights are out atop the pace truck, and we get another fair crack at this one. Shout out to Pete Bruzik, the original broadcaster of these races. Is with great shame that Pete could not make the final 3, but it's my absolute pleasure to fill in for my brother Pete. So shout out to him and his better half. I know we're up to exciting things. Well, That sounds terrible. They're up to wholesome things. You dirty people out there, never mind. Leading this race, though, Gabe Ellison in that 2.7. Raleigh Grant Davis in the 2.5 on the outside of row number 1. You've got Aaron Smith sitting in the 3rd position. Cole Martin on the outside in that 4.5 Chevy Accessories truck. Brad Herman in the Stay Hemp Sports Drink Chevrolet Silverado starting to the inside of the 45. Corey Blevins in the 48 car. Tyler Dohar, last week's winner, on the outside in the 77. Ellison and RGD waiting for the signal now. Pace car peels off. Green flag is out. Let's go racing one more time. One lap complete. Gabe Ellison with a 34.74 leading this race, obviously putting in the fastest lap. 6 laps in. Gucci Sushi in the chat says, watch out for Snyder, going to tear up the competition tonight. Talking about Cole Snyder in that 2.4 truck. Right now we're riding along with Gabe Ellison in that 2.7 ahead of Raleigh Grant Davis in the 2.5 boosted Chevrolet. RGD following in tow with Aaron Smith in that 3rd position. It's the points go like this. It's 52 points for winning the race. It's going to be 48 points for 2nd, 47 for 3rd, 46 for 4th, so on and so forth. Aaron Smith comes into this race 6 points adrift of Drew Jua. Right now, that 41 truck of Drew Jua is running 19. Obviously, the championship won't end now, but if it did, Jua would find himself well out of the top 3. And for those that don't know, it's all about the money tonight. $500 goes to the champion, $250 for 2nd, $150 for 3rd, and racing gloves, courtesy of Martin Sports, the Michigan sports company, offering those great sim racing gloves. Gabe Ellison right now leading this race with RGD in the 2nd position. Here goes Aaron Smith to the inside of Raleigh Grant Davis. The Hollywood South Carolinian moving early and swiftly into that bright yellow number 70. Tram in the chat with some popcorn emojis. Mama Balls, don't think I didn't see you earlier. Glad to have you, Mama. Send my love to Terry. Send my love to the family down in the great volunteer state of Tennessee. RGD to the inside of Aaron Smith, putting a quick and swift crossover into that 3rd corner, playing it a bit too close for my liking. Only 9 laps into this race, but RGD, once again, we're going to be flashing these points all night long. Raleigh Grant Davis comes into this race only 7 points away from that top spot, with Raleigh Grant Davis edging Aaron Smith right now. They would tie for the championship at the end of this race, or as the points are right now, according to the live standings, tie for the championship. RGD, having won a race earlier this season, the tiebreaker would go to him. Tyler Brinnick in the chat says, look out for that 2.4 machine. They're talking about Cole Snyder in the DuPont Chevrolet. The Pennsylvania native sitting in the 16th position right now. He's got Drew Jua, the points leader, coming into this race right behind him. Jua in the 4-1 BeWater Chevrolet. As the points stand, nowhere near the championship lead, and he can feel $500 slipping out of his palms. That 4-1 Chevrolet with plenty of race to go, still 90 laps remaining. Drew Jua behind Cole Snyder. It is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't you dare count your chickens yet. Jua to the inside of Cole Snyder, challenging for the 16th position. Let's ride along with points leader Drew Jua. Sparks flying up along that azure-colored Homestead-Miami wall. Drew Jua still in the 16th position. Now he's got Timmy Moore behind him in that 7-4 truck coming up to the inside of Jua. This is for the 16th position. Cole Snyder sliding back to 18th, and Jeff No in that familiar-looking number 6 Scott F-150, challenging Snyder and edging him right now for the 18th position. At the front, Gabe Ellison leading Aaron Smith by fewer than 0.2 of a second headed into turn number 3. Ellison led every lap so far. Smith trying to win this championship, and as the points stand, Smith would be your champion, but it's not a 14-lap race. Still 85 plus laps remain. Tyler Brinnick says the All-American Bad Boy in the 24. The All-American Bad Boy is running 19th. Blake Sperling to the inside of truck 24. Sperling making his way through this race. Matt Boone behind him in that 38 Wisconsin Badgers Chevrolet. No secret that the Rhineland, Wisconsin native rocks the Badgers week in and week out. Almost reminiscent of a truck he ran in the NNR series on Xbox. For those that know, those been keeping up with Matt Boone for years now. NNR Bowling, as he used to be known, making the rare appearance. Gucci Sushi cheering on, saying, letter 8, Big Shoots. You're going to have to explain, because I really don't get that one. At the front, the lead hasn't changed. Gabe Smith ahead of Aaron Smith II. RGD sitting in third with Brad Herman behind him in the 8-5 Stay BeWater Chevrolet. Corey Blevins rounding out the top 5 with Brooklyn's Nick Pressey holding on brilliantly in the 6th position. I was talking to Nick earlier today, asking him what he's learned throughout this season, and he says he's really honed his skills and tightened up a lot of his, what you could say were faults, and cutting his teeth in the Alliance Racing Championship Series, coming through to the BeWater iRacing Series, and look at him hanging with these guys in the top 10. Last week's winner, Tyler Dohar, in the number 7-7 Filter Time truck. Coming out of the 4th corner in the 9th position with Timmy Latham behind him, chasing down John Honeycutt in this beautifully colored Miami Vice number 50 Chevy Silverado. Points for creativity, no doubt. Honeycutt coming through with the ever-appropriate Miami Vice. And speaking of ever-appropriate, you got to give a shout-out to Kyle Taub in that number 16. And if it doesn't look familiar, you may not watch a lot of Miami Heat basketball, but that is just what the you might call a third jersey, or kind of the city jersey, if you will. That number 16 Ford F-150 rocking the city jersey colors for the Miami Heat at Homestead-Miami. The Floridian showing a little bit of South Beach love. Aaron Smith still in that 2nd position, starting to leave the top 3 and making it a top 2. RGD a half second behind. Kyle Taub, we just mentioned him, he's to the inside of Brad Rivers in that 6-9 truck. Behind him, Mike York in the number 5, now trying to work behind the one of Blake Sperling. York in the Air Jordan number 5 Chevy Silverado has a mirror full of Matt Boone, who won't relent. Here goes Boone to the inside of York. Let's ride along with the Wisconsin pilot. He's in 19th. On me now. We still got 75 plus laps of racing to go. Matt Boone in that 38 truck now behind that one of Blake Sperling. Sperling's up 16 places from where he started. Tyler Brinnick in the chat says, let's get the 50 in a Cheerios car. Talking about John Honeycutt in that 5-0 Miami Vice. Looking fantastic in that 7th position. should decorate my house like that. Boehner saying Ellison doing all he can right now, leading every lap. Talking about race leader Gabe Ellison in that 2-7. Aaron Smith in that second spot. Here are the BeWater points. Gabe Ellison coming into tonight's race third, tied for third in the standings. He's also a big part of this championship fight. Mathematically speaking, the top 7 are within a chance of getting their hands on that $500. Over $2,000 in the prize pool tonight, $500, and Martin Sports Racing gloves on the line for our for our champion. And I believe the top 3 will get some prizes from Martin Sports. Shout out to the Michigan-based sports company. The top 3 running away with the show. Aaron Smith in the second position ahead of RGD. Raleigh Grant Davis in the number 2-5 boosted Chevrolet. Gucci Sushi in the chat cheering on Jose Ruiz in the number 2-3. Jose Ruiz involved in that lap 1, turn 1 incident. Starting off on cold tires, that K&N Ford went for a wild ride. Let's see if we can go back and find out exactly, well, say exactly how what happened. Exactly what happened, please don't. Have a look at the 2-3. Cold tires on that 2-3, trying to be avoided by that 7-3 truck. Just couldn't make it. Looks like the 5-1 also got a piece of him as well. But Jose Ruiz in fighting condition once again. The 2-3 sitting in 32nd position. Off the pace. Still plenty of race to go. We're only a quarter of the way through. Gabe Ellison doing everything he's got to do to get his hands on the money. Ellison leading RGD. Aaron Smith in that 70 car has disappeared from the top 3, 26 laps into this race. Smith the second, now leaving pit road. Is this the start of our first green flag cycles? And it is. Drivers coming in well before the predicted track facts expected. We thought 40 to 50 laps. Absolutely not. It's going to be between 25 and 35. Smith, one of the first drivers to come in and take advantage, rejoins the track in the 31st position, 2 laps off the pace. Tyler Brinnick saying 2-4 needs to make some big changes, talking about Cole Snyder. Same for Gucci Sushi saying, Snyder, pick it up, fella. Look at Smith work in those fresh tires. Aaron Smith, his best lap so far, a 33.36. We'll see what he puts in now. Boehner says Davis led a lap now, talking about RGD, who picked up the lead. Now that the 8.5 of Brad Herman moves into second, 3 wide out of the fourth corner, and obviously Aaron Smith in the big yellow Silverado, splitting those 2 drivers, making his way up to 26th as pit stop cycles continue. For your convenience at home, on the bottom of your screen, you're going to see your favorite driver abbreviated with 3 letters in their last name. The ticking time on the left is total pit lane time. The time in the brackets on the right-hand side is pit stop time. RGD still leading with John Honeycutt in the second position. 2.3 seconds the difference, 29 laps into this grand final. Gucci Sushi saying that 50 is moving. John Honeycutt up to the second spot under these pit stop conditions, being overtaken by that 2.7 truck who was leading when it all started. Gabe Ellison into that 22nd position under this current pit stop cycle. RGD stretching it as far as he can. Drivers given 4 sets of tires tonight and no fast repairs. How will they survive? RGD following the 7-0 of Aaron Smith. Smith, who pitted on lap 24, has fresh tires, and he puts in a blistering lap. 34.91 last time around, while the leaders come in. Aaron Smith gathering positions by the foot. Drew Jua, the points leader, re-inherits the lead, and the live points coming into today's race. Well, these are the points coming into today's race, I should say. Live points, if the race ended now, would have Drew Jua winning the title, but obviously these drivers still have to come in. More than a quarter of the field still staying out. All the way down to 14th position. Cole Snyder in that 2-4 car staying out with the rest of the top 14, I should say. Drew Jua ahead of Tyler Dohar by mere feet. The number 7-7 filter time Silverado sitting ahead of Jeff No in that 3rd position. Timmy Moore and Nick Pressey swapping spots, 4th and 5th respectively. Waiting for each of these drivers to come down pit road. Jordan Bain in the chat letting us know that Drew Jua led a lap, and that's important. He is collecting those points tonight. We appreciate the live points update by Jordan Bain. Flashing up those BeWater points, that means Drew Jua, Raleigh Grant Davis, Gabe Ellison have all led a lap. I believe Aaron Smith has also led a lap as well, which entitles each of those drivers to 1 bonus point. And that extra bonus point goes to most laps led. We'll see who that projects to be once these pit stop cycles have gone all the way through. Drew Jua sitting in 2nd. Tyler Dohar leading the way now. And could this be Drew Jua potentially saving fuel? Jua in that 41. Is he concerned with leading the most laps? He has a 6-point lead coming into this race. Perhaps he's just concerned with making his resources go all the way to the end. Sam Wade, Rocky Top Wade to you in the number 14 Safe Light truck. He's up to the 3rd position right now, while J. Paul Arnold in the Southern Beverage 2-2. He almost made it through that first accident with the Move of the Race Award. He sits in 4th right now. Boehner in the chat says, I don't know if stretching fuel is going to work, Rick. They had caution laps to help that run. Strategy underway. Leaders are in, however. Tyler Dohar, Drew Jua, Sam Wade, J. Paul Arnold all in. John Osborne in the number 8-3 Mellow Yellow truck. He got a piece of that first accident. He comes down pit road. So who's left? Aaron Smith. In the 6th position, the number 70 Bright Yellow Silverado comes down the front straight to re-inherit the lead ahead of Gabe Ellison. Aaron Smith, 0.6 of a second ahead of Gabe Ellison with 65 laps remaining. The 3-8. NNR Bowling in the chat today, backed out by the 9-4 of Nick Pressey. Let's look to the front of Nick Pressey and his Ford. No apparent damage, but we can't see where that 38 went around. And Alpha York saying, well, I just handled my transmission, talking about it, downshifted and ruined that gearbox. That's going to be Michael York out of this race. Matt Heel in the 5-1 truck just went purple, 33-29 with tires that are only 6 laps old. Matt Heel has the quickest lap of tonight's race. Michael York down pit road, and also Matt Boone getting those repairs. So that'll do it for our first pit stop cycle. Back to our regularly scheduled graphics. But the lead hasn't changed. Aaron Smith still at the top. Gabe Ellison trailing by 1/2 of 1 second. RGD in the 3rd position with Timmy Latham sitting in 4th. Cole Martin rounding out the top 5 in his number 4-5. Tyler Dohar in the 77 truck, running the low side. Got to give a big shout out to Burnt Rubber during the opening title card. Gave out 20 Tier 1 subscriptions to the community. They've gifted a total of 91 subscriptions total. Big shout out to my brother Terry Radford. Just thank you so much for your kindness and generosity, Terry. Send my love to your mama down there. Send my love to your whole family. Let's keep this one moving. But big shout out to Terry Radford, Aaron Smith, and Gabe Ellison with a quick wink. But luckily everything is good. Timmy Latham sitting in fourth, 1.2 seconds off of the top three. Nick Pressey in that 13th position gets to the inside of Nathan Mon in the Piedmont Airlines Chevrolet. Love these nostalgic throwback paint schemes. Glad to see Nate bringing back that Terry Labonte or Ricky Rudd paint scheme, if you will, to the Truck Series. Matt Heel behind him, just a quarter of a second. This is the fight for the 14th position. Heel still holding on to the fastest lap, 33.29. Now moves to the inside of Nate Mon. And Matt Heel cracking the top 14 in his number 5-1 Rowdy Tundra. Not a lot of Toyotas in today's race. You've got Matt Heel for one, Blake Sperling for two. Sperling driving that number 1 Engine Ice Chevrolet. I'm sorry, I just called it a Chevrolet. That's a Toyota. And of course, you can't forget about Gabe Ellison in that second position. The number 27 Toyota. Is he trying to save any fuel right now to Aaron Smith II? One more time, bringing up those points. 41 laps into today's race. Aaron Smith comes into tonight only 6 markers off of Drew Jua. If the race were to end now, Aaron Smith would be your champion. He'd get his hands on those sweet Martin Sports sim racing gloves, and of course $500, part of that $2,000 prize pool we have tonight, courtesy of BeWater. John Honeycutt in the 7th position, chasing down Nate Lehman in the 15 truck. Let's ride along with Honeycutt for a lap around Homestead-Miami in that sweet Miami Vice Chevrolet. John Honeycutt up to the 6th position right now behind Timmy Latham on the tail end of the top 5. Latham up 11 places from where he started, same as Matt Heel. He's sitting in 15th right now, but you've got to give it up to Blake Sperling in the number 1 Engine Ice Tundra. He's up 22 places from where he started this race. Aaron Smith moving to the inside of Gabe Ellison. This for first place. Smith looking to hold on to that lead. Ellison trying a crossover out of turn number 4. This for the race lead and potentially the championship. 45 laps in. Every position matters. There's Ellison. 1 point off of Aaron Smith II. Ellison, who's led the most laps thus far, just barely leading down the back straight, but another crossover from that 70 as they come up on lap traffic. That 7-3 truck belonging to Justin Malarkey. He's moving his green F-150 wisely out of the way. J. Paul Arnold in the number 22 Southern Beverage F-150 ahead of these current top 2 in points. Will the 2-2 remove himself from this championship fight? Smith second in that 70. Now on the inside of Gabe Ellison's 2.7 Toyota, getting a draft off of that 2.2. The F-150 giving a tow to the 70. The 2.7 using the 2.2 as a pick, bravely blocking down the inside, forcing the 70 truck on the outside while Arnold fights to stay on the lead lap, but it's too much. The 27 and the 70 sail around the 22. 47 laps underway from Homestead-Miami. 27 of Gabe Ellison currently leading this race and the championship fight. $250 is the difference between 0.3 of a second in Gabe Ellison and Aaron Smith II. John Honeycutt in the 5-0 Miami Vice Chevrolet. He's working on Cole Martin in the 4-5. Honeycutt's been on the move since that last pit stop some 28 laps ago, and we're primed for another pit stop cycle. Gabe Ellison pitting on lap 26. How far will he stretch that one? Aaron Smith came in on lap 24. Has Smith been saving enough fuel to stretch the mileage? That second cycle just a few laps away. If you've just recently tuned in, I'm Rick James, and you're watching the grand final of the BeWater B-Fast iRacing Series from Homestead-Miami. Gabe Ellison sits ahead of Aaron Smith by just 0.2 of a second, and $250 is the difference between those positions. John Honeycutt moving to the inside of Cole Martin. This is for fourth. Coming into tonight's race, Honeycutt sits just 1 point behind Tyler Dohar. This is one of those situations where every position matters. Over $2,000 is in tonight's prize pool. Drivers from 1st to 30th will earn points tonight. Or earn money, I'm sorry, for their points tonight. And the cycle has started. There you see that yellow number 70 of Aaron Smith II coming down pit road. He gives up the lead. Cole Martin is also in. Tim Latham follows suit. Gabe Ellison now gets that lead from the 70 car. Pit stop cycles have begun once again. Look to the bottom of your screen where you'll find the abbreviation of your favorite driver coming down pit road. And not wasting a lap more, RGD, Raleigh Grant Davis, brings his number 27 truck down pit road. I'm sorry, Gabe Ellison. Raleigh Grant Davis just inherited the lead. There you see a drag race out of pit road involving Cole Martin. But RGD will lead another lap. Has the 2.5 been holding back? We'll see after this second pit stop cycle. The 50 truck of John Honeycutt moves into the second position. Brad Herman sits in third in the Stay Hemp Sports Drink Chevrolet. Corey Blevins sits in fourth. Kyle Taub in the Miami Heat Ford F-150 rounds out the top 5. Taub trying to get to the inside of Corey Blevins. This will be for the third position. Taub to the inside of the 4.8, edging Blevins for that third spot. RGD still leading with Brad Herman behind him. 10 seconds the gap between Grant Davis and Herman. RGD continues to stay out. He last pitted on lap 30. Now on his 33rd lap since that last stop. Brad Herman decides to come in. The 16 of Kyle Taub is also in. Then comes Corey Blevins in that 4.8. Brad Herman in the 8.5 comes down. Stan Carnathan in the 8.2 Haviland Chevrolet. He brings his truck down pit road. Bowling says took the 38 truck to the trailer. The boys couldn't fix it, and that's going to be a DNF for Rhinelander, Wisconsin's Matt Boone. Boone coming into today's race, not up in the top 14, but keep an eye out for Matt Boone Tuesday nights in Turn Down for What. Repeat 1975 says, yo, halfway. And Alpha York cheering 27 bits in the chat. Pete, what's going on, buddy? Glad to have you here. Raleigh Grant Davis sitting in that top spot. There goes Aaron Smith on the outside. We have a new fastest lap while that's going on. Cole Martin in the number 4.5 Chevy Accessories Silverado rolling in the 20th position. 33.26 is the new benchmark. RGD comes in just after that 45 puts in his fastest lap. Raleigh Grant Davis is in. Timmy Moore now retakes the lead. Currently up 22 places while the pit stop cycle rages on. Moore last pitting on lap 33, so we can expect him in as soon as possible. Shout out to Alpha York once again for those goals. Tyler Dohar's up into the second spot. He's ahead of Blake Sperling by 0.8 of a second. While the dying embers of pit stop cycle number 2 still burn on down in pit road. just past the halfway mark, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only, Pete Ruzick back in his booth for the second half of this race. Pete, welcome to the second half of the BeWater Grand Final. The second cycle of pit stops is just closing out. Timmy Moore leads Tyler Dohar. Nick Pressey is in the third position. We're waiting on the top 11 drivers to come down pit road, and this cycle will finish.
James, buddy, thank you very much for doing the amazing job that you continue to do week in and week out, no matter which series, no matter which track, no matter what kind of car, anything. You are the man on top of the entire broadcast. Great job as always. I was actually listening to the broadcast in the truck for the entire hour ride home. Man, it seems like it hasn't stopped, and Becky says, thank you for your very kind words. Yeah, we are going through some life changes, and not in any kind of a negative, getting older kind of way. There'll be more about that as time goes on. If you're a friend and on socials and all that, yeah, we got a lot of great things in the work for both me and my missus, and we definitely appreciate your very kind words, sir. As you said, Tyler Dohar, he's continuing to lead, up 28 spots right now, sitting in P number 1. Jeff No, Old Stout Whiskey, up 30 spots. Good to see Old Stout having a great night. Nick Pressey in at 94, sitting P3. Sam Wade, P4. And our points leader, which I think I heard you say by a very, very slim 6 or 8 points, right now sitting in P5.
Drew Jua in that 5th position. The number 4-1 BeWater Silverado sits ahead of that 5-1, but that's not for position. Drew still yet to come in, and the top 7 trucks have not come down and given up their positions for fresh tires and fuel. The 51 of Matt Heel simply sailing around the 4-1 of Drew Jua. Dohar continues to lead. Jeff No in that 2nd position while this second stop cycles through. 40 laps to go, Pete, and for these drivers that are stretching out their mileage, they are looking to make this a one-stop race to the end. Snoop Dogg in the chat says the 24 up to 11th.
About old Jeff No in this number 6 Miracle Grow Scott's machine. Kind of looks like a Carl Edwards of old paint scheme. Maybe trying to do something that Carl Edwards wasn't able to do way back when, and that's get it done here at Homestead. It'd be great to see Jeff No in victory lane.
That number 6 car flying around that first corner. Behind him coming up is the 51 of Matt Heel. He's all over the back end of that 2-0 Piedmont Airlines Chevrolet. Heel trying to get around Nathan Mon for the 26th position. And for those at home, the $2,000 prize pool will pay out from 1st to 30th, but at the front, Nick Pressey sits in 3rd. Jeff No is in 2nd. Tyler Dohar is in 1st. Yet to pick. BeWater points shows Drew Jua comes into tonight's race leading Aaron Smith by 6 markers. Smith, who pitted on this last cycle, is only 6 seconds behind Jua, and this could be a big shift in the championship, Pete, because Smith has the front foot now. Jua is on the back foot and really losing on the pit cycle fight right now. Jua gambling on a yellow, and this could be a difference of $250 when the checkered flag flies.
I tell you what, Rick, if things worked out in any kind of an odd way, all right, you could actually have a point shift from 1st all the way down to 9th. 34 trucks out there on track tonight from Homestead-Miami Speedway to wrap up this Green Concepts BeWater B-Fast iRacing series. So, man, there's a lot that can still play out. Looking at about 35 laps remaining to round out this 100 lapper here. Man, there's a lot of cash on the line, a lot of points that can still shift.
Shout out to the folks at Martin Sports for providing sim racing gloves to our champion tonight. Tyler Dohar in that 7-7 truck continues to lead as Nick Pressey makes his way out of pit road. Jeff No in 2nd by only 2¼ seconds. Q-Dog Enrique Quinones brings his number 9 Coal Dog Ford down pit road. Glad to see Quinones making a conceited effort for getting up in these points. Drew Jua watching his championship slip away with Aaron Smith II coming up behind him. But of course, Pete, a caution could throw all of these theories upside down. Jua now into the 3rd position while Rocky Top Wade comes for tires and fuel.
Yeah, Rocky Top, he's going to go ahead and bring that down. That's going to bring Gabe Ellison, Raleigh Grant Davis, Tim Latham, Cole Martin, and John Honeycutt. I got to love that Miami Vice truck. I heard you talk about it in my truck on the way home. That is a really nice scheme.
I always got a soft spot for the 1980s vaporwave aesthetic, if you will. Just that purple, that blue, just bright magenta, and that super saturated cyan. You know, when I game, I turn up my LEDs to be just that color, and it's pretty cool, man. I gotta say, I got a soft spot for that Miami Vice.
Old Tubbs and Crockett back in the day, absolutely.
Oh, you lost me, dude. Last week you had me on The Office, but I never watched a single episode. I just like the aesthetic.
Well, I tell you what, if you've never watched a single episode of Miami Vice, you'll love just the opening scenes. Go on over, YouTube it. I promise you'll like it.
Pete, what's the deal with Dohar? He has not pitted in 33 laps here. Dohar's got to be coming in sooner rather than later, and it's going to take a caution to stretch this fuel all the way to the end. Or is it, Pete? We have just over 33 laps remaining. Dohar is... Could this be the money stop right here? Dohar's really stretching this gas, and he's looking to make this his last stop before the checkered.
I think I actually just heard him come over team comms and say this time. Yep, in fact, here comes that filter time. Chevy Silverado down pit road, trying to whoa it up down to pit road speed. That 77 absolutely breathing happy right now. He's got the entire length of pit road pretty much to himself, which means he's got a clean entry and he should have a clean exit also. Dohar trying to go ahead and knock this out, pitting right now, so he'll be coming out to start lap 69. A lot of other people have already came down pit road, so he will have also the freshest tires for a while as the lefts have gone up. Now the rights are up. He's exiting pit road. Nothing but clean track. Dohar will come on up and just he just got to watch his merge points and he should be all right.
You just saw the 70 of Aaron Smith take over Drew Jua for the lead down the back straight. Now Smith into that first corner as Jua comes down pit road, gives up that security of the top 10, but what will it cost? But can Jua make it all the way to the end? On the back foot now, but with the math saying that Drew Jua only has 31 laps to go, does Aaron Smith have enough? The answer has to be no, Pete. Smith came down on lap 49, but it's going to be down to the tires now. Jua on his way out, and this stop will decide the championship, Pete. Jua in the 41 will come out in the 21st position, some laps down from race leader Aaron Smith. But Smith must come down pit road one more time. It's impossible to calculate, but we're going to find out approximately 10 laps from now when Smith comes down pit road.
Well, I tell you what, I've been watching this number 70 for Aaron Smith. He's got a Gabe Ellison and an RGD kind of, in the same vicinity, but I just watched the 14 roll on by. Then I watched the 24 roll on by. I almost wonder if this 70 might be backing it up a little bit. When did you say he was last down pit road?
Lap 49.
All right, so no, there's no chance he's trying to stretch this. I guess it is just the old tires, and maybe they were on some newer tires. But Tim Latham and John Honeycutt going to go ahead and add to Gabe Ellison and Raleigh Grant Davis in that top 5.
Gabe Ellison sitting 1 second off of Aaron Smith. These are not live points. These are the points coming into tonight's race. Drew Jua leading by 6 markers. Jua trying to go to the end of this race on this tank of fuel. Right now, Jua sitting in the 21st position. 70 laps underway for him, while Aaron Smith is about to complete lap 71. So Jua more than 1 lap off the pace, almost 2 at this point. Raleigh Grant Davis sitting in the 3rd position right now. He is on the same pit cycle as points leader, race leader and current points leader, Aaron Smith II. but Raleigh Grant Davis pitted 5 laps after Smith. What's that going to mean for the final pit stop? It looks like, well, a few drivers coming down right now, Pete. Tim Latham in 6th, Cole Martin in 7th. There's so much going on. I want to calculate and have like an estimated guess of what's going to happen 25-ish laps from now. No chance, man.
No, not at all. And I've been keeping an eye on that 41 for Drew Jua, and he is going to be able to click off some laps. He's got nobody pressuring his BeWater back bumper, and he's got some trucks ahead. But in the corners here at Homestead, there's several different lines that you can run. So it's going to be a little bit before he's got to worry about the dirty air. He's faster than these guys, so he should be able to pick up the line and try to either pass them high or pass them low. But Drew Jua just has to be very, very calculating on where he takes these guys, whether it's going to be high or low, to make sure he doesn't make any contact with them and ruin what could be a very, very...
Ellison is in. So is Smith.
Plentiful night. Yep, there you go.
Aaron Smith and Gabe Ellison coming down pit road, their final pit stop with 25 laps remaining in the championship. This could be that $500 move. Smith and Ellison, nose to tail, the yellow Chevrolet and the orange Tundra coming in one right after the other. All eyes on Drew Jua now, looking to go the distance. Truck 41 has no option but to cane it and hope he gets to the checkered flag before Truck 70. 6 points is the difference. Pete, Jua does not have to win the race, but given the difference in pit stop cycles between him and the 70, he might as well go for it, but it's impossible to tell how hard Jua needs to drive until the 70 and the 27 of Smith and Ellison leave pit road.
Well, the 27 and the 70, they are off pit road. They're back out on track, going through turns 3 and 4 right now. They both made it into their pit stop, no issue. Neither of them overshot the pit or had to back up. And what you're seeing right now is the difference just between the two. So they were both able to be aggressive, get on pit road, no speeding penalties, no anything. The crew has done their job. Now it's all in the driver's hands. And I mean, they've got the same distance that they had before they came on down pit road.
Honeycutt leading this race in the number 50 Miami Vice Chevrolet. Nate Lehman in second in the Ford Performance F-150, and Timmy Moore filling in that 3rd position. Kyle Taub in the 1-6 KT's Design Miami Heat. Ford sitting in 4th, and Blake Sperling rounding out that top 5 with Jeff No rounding out the top 10. Pete, it's been a thrilling 7 3/4 races, but now the final 25 laps is going to decide how this $2,000 prize pool is distributed and who gets their hands on those Martin Sports Racing gloves and over $500 in cash. John Honeycutt leading, Nate Lehman in 2nd, Timmy Moore in 3rd, and still 23 circuits remain. Gabe Ellison just ran his fastest lap of the race, and he's still trailing behind Aaron Smith. They're sitting 12th and 13th respectively.
Yeah, 12th and 13th, and then you've got Corey Kobe sitting right behind them in that number 21 Ford F-150. Could he, work his way on up and maybe give somebody a little bit of a shove? We'll have to see. Or can Jeff No prove to help out Drew Jua in his number 70? I mean, there's all kinds of different ways that this can play out. Looks like Blake Sperling has pulled his number 1 down pit road.
Coming down pit road, he's going to give up his top 15 position, while race leader John Honeycutt brings the Miami Vice Chevy down pit road. Puts the binders on a little late. Hopefully he avoids that penalty. That means your new leader is truck 15 in Nate Lehman. 21 laps remain. Kyle Taub follows the 5-0 of Honeycutt down pit road. Timmy Moore sits in that 2nd position. Rocky Top Wade sitting in 6th will make his way up to the top 5 following Tyler Dohar. And Pete, now we start to see the drivers that have to go the distance, and they have to go the road. Lehman last pitted on lap 50. He should be coming in right around now. Tim Moore in that 2nd position, he pitted on lap 57. So Moore should be coming in approximately 7 laps from now. Nick Pressey, he sits in 3rd. He last pitted on lap 62, and he would need to stretch his fuel about 5 laps to go all the way to the end. Meanwhile, there's Tyler Dohar. He should be good to go to the end, but it's still anyone's game. 2:0 to go, Pete, and 1:9 at the line.
1-9, man. You got that going. Very nice. Yeah, 77 Tyler Dohar, he brought these skills over from console and just never let up. He just had to, redo his calculations a little bit sooner by the way that the cautions fall. So far, I mean, this race has a very, very green feel to it. Tyler Dohar just took the lead from the 94 of Nicholas Pressey. We might be seeing this Filter Time Chevrolet in victory lane for the second week in a row.
Tyler Dohar comes into tonight's race sitting 7th in points, only 2 points behind Tim Latham, that Zero Rep Sports Race Energy truck. Currently running in the 10th position right now. He's behind RGD in that 2.5. Raleigh Grant Davis, a big part of this championship fight, but he's falling behind the 2 trucks of Aaron Smith II, Gabe Ellison, who's to the inside of that 36 truck, being piloted by Justin Quimby, that awesome looking orange chrome rim Gatorade truck. That's one thing I have to say, Pete, is that the 8 weeks of this BeWater series have really brought out some of the most creative paint schemes I never would have imagined. It's one of my favorite parts of iRacing is just the creativity of giving artists the ability to paint whatever they want on their vehicles.
Oh, absolutely. And there's so many of these guys have friends that are just extremely talented when it comes to GIMP or Photoshop or whatever to create these liveries or these schemes. They do amazing work, whether it's on a dirt late model or whether it's on the Gen 7 or next gen cars. It's absolutely phenomenal work.
Tyler Dohar entering turn 3 while Nick Pressey sees Aaron Smith and Gabe Ellison start to chase him down. The number 94 Estetes Ford F-150 sits 4 seconds off the lead, but only a quarter of a second ahead of Aaron Smith II. Smith goes to the outside, and he's going to make light work of the Brooklyn native in that first corner. Gabe Ellison following in that wake of that bright yellow number 70. And Pete, if anything, Gabe Ellison may not lead the most laps tonight. I've lost count thus far, but it's going to be a toss-up between Ellison in the 2.7 or Smith in that 70, and that one bonus point could make that difference. Coming into tonight's race, those drivers are only separated by one solitary point.
Yeah, this whole series, from the duels all the way through to tonight at Homestead-Miami has been extremely tight. The parity of winners, the lap leaders, everything about this series has been a whole lot of fun, super competitive, and the points, they reflect every single bit of it.
Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to have top 3 in tonight's race, as well as our champion, lucky number 13 laps to go. Next time by for Tyler Dohar, looking at that 70 of Aaron Smith II, sitting just ahead of Gabe Ellison. RGD back in the championship hunt. He's in 5th, about to overtake Nick Pressey for the 4th position. Everybody waiting on Tyler Dohar to come down pit road or defend this lead for his 2nd straight win. 3 seconds, the gap between him and Aaron Smith II. Drew Jua, the championship leader, coming into tonight's race under no obligation to win if he can finish 4th or better, but nothing is guaranteed until the checkered flag flies, Pete. 13 to go and a dozen next time.
Drew Jua right now sitting in P number 6. He's got Jeff No and Tim Latham right behind. In front of him, he's got Nicholas Pressey and Raleigh Grant Davis. He can see the 94. He can see that that's a spot. Raleigh Grant Davis, he's in the middle of the turn right now, just as Drew Jewett was entering. So as you said, Rick, 2 more spots is what he needs in these next, coming up on 11 laps. We'll have to see if he can get there. This is absolutely going to be tight. It may come down to a last lap, last straightaway battle to figure out who's going to walk away with $500.
$500 for first, $250 for second, $150 for third, $2 grand and more in this BeWater prize pool. Tyler Dohar continues to lead with 11 laps remaining. Aaron Smith within 2 seconds of that 77 filter time Chevy. Gabe Ellison within 2/10 of Aaron Smith, and it could decide the championship, second or third between them. Raleigh Grant Davis starting to close that gap, 2.5 seconds behind the top two and riding that top side. Jeff Noe rounding out the top 5, up 20 places from where he started, Pete.
Yeah, Jeff Noe doing a phenomenal job. Tyler Dohar up 28, 27 for Jeff Noe, 22 for Nick Cressy, 21 for Tim Moore. A lot of very, very big movers. I didn't get a chance to catch the qualifying, or if there was a heat race for tonight's race. And if these guys are making these big moves on speed alone, no surprise they're in the spots they're in.
Drew Jua sitting in 7th right now, up 10 places from where he started. He's led a lap, so he will receive a bonus point, but so has all the other top 4 drivers. Aaron Smith, Raleigh Grant Davis, and Gabe Ellison all leading a lap tonight as well. Tyler Dohar continues to lead in the 7-7, but the big fight is behind him. Aaron Smith, followed by Gabe Ellison. Coming next time around, Pete, it was 8 laps to go.
Yep, eight to go when they get to the line. Tyler Dohar, as you said, still leading. Aaron Smith, now I got that stuck in my head. Aaron Smith in P2. Gabe Ellison, RGD, Raleigh Grant Davis, Jeff Noe up to P5. Tim Latham in P6 now. That kind of put Drew Jua back one spot, the direction he did not want to go. Nick Cressy in 8th, Cole Martin in P9, and John Honeycutt rounding out your top 10. A lot of movers and shakers, and after that round of green flag pit stops, everybody is good to go. Should not be any more pitting. However, Rick, as separated as these guys are, will we see a caution?
We just saw Tim Latham overtake Jeff Noe for that 5th position. That number 0, Raise Energy Chevrolet, cracking the top 5 for what I believe is the first time tonight. Jeff Noe still up 19 places from where he started. Kyle Taub in that 13th spot, chasing down Corey Blevins for a place in the top dozen. Dohar leading out of the second corner, and it's going to be 6 laps remaining next time by. Gabe Ellison falls 0.4 of a second behind Aaron Smith, the second. Snoop Dogg says no caution, stay green so the 70 can make him pay. And Snoop Dogg has been cheering Aaron Smith, the second. He's now within 0.5, 6 laps to go, Pete.
Yeah, 6 more circuits around Homestead-Miami. These guys are all after it. Right now, their tires are either worn and they're having to lift them a little bit more, maybe use a little bit of brake to get that nose to set. So we might see this, just play out. But we'll have to see. But I got to say, it is great to see everybody out there in chat. Gucci Sushi, Snoop Dogg. I saw Alpha York, Papa Bear out there, and so many others. Guys, who do y'all got with now 5 laps to go at the line this time? Who do y'all have out there in chat?
You heard the 77 clutching it into the corners, Pete, trying to save fuel, or at least trying to stay as smooth as possible on the inside, fight for the lead. And earlier in the chat, Pete Baker was in the chat saying Smith and Ellison tie if Dohar wins. Tyler Dohar leading Smith the second. Gabe Ellison going for second, Pete.
Yeah, Gabe Ellison in that 27, trying to look underneath the 70. It looks like he's going to be able to get back in the throttle a little bit sooner, but he's going to have to check up just a moment, and the 70 will have not only the draft from the 77, but also the momentum from up high. 27 still staying down low. The 70 is not pinching him down. That's something I would probably do. That way he doesn't have the ability to get on the throttle and drive off of the corner, side by side for P2.
Boehner in the chat saying Smith has the tie break. Pete, Gabe Ellison still to the inside of the 70 into 3.
Yes, 77, 27 right behind him. 70 still up high, refusing to give up that line. Not sure if it's just a momentum thing or if he's just being able to keep that 27 pinched down. Here we go. Just a couple more, Rick.
Penske HD in the chat says it's going to be close. Snoop Dogg says the 7.7 is a sitting duck. $500 on the line between the 7.0 and the 2.7. 2 to go next time by, Pete.
I just don't know if they can do anything. If the 70 and the 27 continue to race side by side, I don't think they can get the 77. The 77 is manipulating the line. When he goes low, he's putting all that dirty air on the front end of that 27. When he goes up high, he's helping the 70. So he's manipulating the line, manipulating the air, and nobody's able to get to him. White flag.
2 laps to go, Pete. White flag next time. Dohar leads into 1.
I don't think he's got it, Rick. I think the 27 might have a little something for him. He really threw it in there that time, all over the back bumper of that filter time Chevy Silverado. 70 right behind. Dohar still has the lead. As you said, this time by will be the white flag. Dohar throws it into 3 and 4 really deep. 27 now up high. 70 and 27 have reversed lines.
1.5 miles remain. 8 weeks comes to the next 4 corners. Gabe Ellison leading the 70 across the line. $500 and Martin Sports sim racing gloves on the line for the 2.7. Using side draft from the 7.7 of Tyler Dohar, Ellison going for the win and the championship. Aaron Smith in the 3rd position now, falling behind Truck 77 with Raleigh Grant Davis behind him. Gabe Ellison with a last lap pass on Tyler Dohar out of turn number 2, comes out of turn number 4, unofficially with the win and the championship. Gabe Ellison wins the BeWater Be Fast iRacing Series.
Yeah, Drew back in P7. He needed a couple more spots if he was going to be able to secure it all here at Homestead. Didn't work out. Big congratulations to Gabe Ellison.
We're going to calculate the points. We're going to see who gets what. Fans, don't go anywhere. We've got math to, well, I say we, not me. Jordan Bain has math to do. Gabe Ellison, unofficially your winner. Tyler Dohar in the 2nd position. RGD, Raleigh Grant Davis in that 3rd spot. Rock NASCAR 388 says, congrats Ellison, cheering our race winner. We'll see where the points fall out. Unofficially, by my math, Gabe Ellison is your champion, but of course, we'll see who does what at the end and where the numbers lie. For now, he's your race winner. Fans, don't go anywhere. We'll have the championship presentation in just a couple minutes. On the podium now with our top 4 in points in no particular order. We're going to start with repeat. Pete Ruzick, you've got one of our top 4 tonight, Drew Jua.
I got you.
Drew, it looks like it's going to be a P7 finish for you tonight. You came into tonight's race with a very, very slim margin to try to knock out this championship, walk away with $500. What more did you need, sir?
I need to stay out longer on that first run. I mean, I went at the 2-stopper instead of the 3-stopper, and it turned out to be the wrong strategy. Aaron, Raleigh, and Gabriel were all just super fast tonight. Track position, I just didn't have it. Need a little bit more time or just a caution. There was nothing more I could do. Great racing all season. Congratulations to whoever wins the championship.
Congratulations to you. Great job all season long, as you said. Rick James, you go.
We've got another of our top 4 tonight. We'll announce the points after these interviews. Let's talk to Gabe Ellison in that 2.7 Toyota Tundra. Gabe, fantastic drive tonight. You came away with that W in the race. How'd you pull it off?
Yeah, man, that was a tough one. Me and Aaron Smith there, we were pretty much hooked up all race, swapping spots a little bit, and we were on the pretty much exact same tire strategy. We had Dohar and Davis on a little bit different, and we ended up all coming together right at the end. And I think the lap traffic kind of fell in my favor, fortunately, and that definitely contributed to it. And I was able to get it done.
Pete, after Gabe Ellison's fantastic drive, we've got to talk about tonight's 3rd place finisher in the race, Raleigh Grant Davis.
RGD and that number 25, buddy, you got a copy?
I do.
Raleigh, P3 all season long from start to finish, from the duels on. You have been phenomenal week in and week out. P3 tonight in the finishing order. You were able to get right up to Tyler Dohar's back bumper. Gabe Ellison was just able to squeak on by, just not able to follow him through. What more did you need, sir?
One more lap, honestly. I decided to do a different strategy. Honestly, after the way the seasons went for me, I was waiting for a caution to come out. So the first run, I ran it longer, thinking, they're going to wreck. We do it every week. Didn't happen. So I'm really proud of everybody for keeping it clean all race, but I didn't expect it. So from there on, I was just kind of playing catch up and trying to get my pit strategy a little bit closer to them. But man, my car was so good on the long run. I wish our fuel cell was a little bit longer. I was loving the old tires.
Well, man, congratulations one more time and the final time for this season. If there's a season 2, I hope we get to see you back. Rick James, one more to go, buddy.
Our final driver of our top 4 in points tonight, talking about Aaron Smith II from Hollywood, South Carolina. That bright yellow number 70 Chevy Silverado coming home 4th in the race tonight. Aaron, was there anything left for you to take down the 2.7 for tonight's race win?
Oh, no, he was the class of the field all night, and I was just trying to get a leg up on him in strategy, but once I got to that big pile of lappers in the last run, there wasn't much else I could have done on the tires. I was wearing the right front off like crazy. But I'm glad we could have a good race to the finish and for the championship as well. Congratulations to whoever the champion is.
We're going to get to that right now. Big shout out to the good folks over at BeWater and Green Concepts as a whole. Learn more about their artesian water bottled in the hills of Marion, North Carolina at BeWaterBU.com. And of course, the good folks over at Martin Sports, who are giving out those gorgeous and handy sim racing gloves to our top 4. And a little drum roll, please, for our top 4. We have a tie for 3rd place in our BeWater Be Fast iRacing Series points with 329 points over the last 8 races. Aaron Smith II and Raleigh Grant Davis have a tie for 3rd place in the points standings. You'll get some lovely gloves courtesy of Martin Sports. And now, what everybody wants to know, between 1st and 2nd, the difference was only 3 points. The winner of $500 and the BeWater Be Fast iRacing Series is Gabe Ellison. Tonight's race winner does come through with the championship. Drew Jua coming home in second in the standings with 332 points. Gabe Ellison gets $500 and a pair of Martin Sports racing gloves. Drew Jua comes away with $250, and then a tie for third with Aaron Smith II and Raleigh Grant Davis. After 8 weeks of racing, it comes down to a difference of 3 points. Gabe Ellison, you are the BeWater Be Fast champion.
Hell yeah, man! I don't know what to say. That's awesome. I had some a couple of rough appearances early in the season, and just tried to keep my head down, stay consistent, and just can't believe I pulled it off, honestly.
A brilliant way to pull that off with a last lap pass on Tyler Dohar to get the race win and secure the title. Rumors, and these are just rumors, are that season 2 is in the works. If it does come to fruition and we get a second season of this brilliant racing, will you be back to defend your title?
Oh, you better believe it. There's no way I wouldn't. As long as schedule fitting. I'm having a baby in a month, so as long as schedule's fitting, I'll be here.
Well, first of all, congratulations, and
Thank you.
second of all, congratulations again. But it's gonna be a fantastic spring for you. One more congratulations, Gabe Ellison. You're the BeWater Be Fast iRacing Series inaugural champion.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Good season to everybody. That was awesome. Thanks for everybody that put it on.
Pete, at the end of 8 weeks, 3 points decides the season, and you look back to some of the series that we've always done, and man, this one really has to be up there.
Oh, absolutely. Boehner and Alpha York and San Carnathan, they put together one hell of a roster of drivers that week in and week out. Yeah, they had some tough weeks, but man, they had some weeks where it was just phenomenal racing all the way around. Super glad to be a part of it. And Rick James, buddy, thank you so much for stepping in clutch to call these last 4 weeks. And absolutely, sir, if there is a season 2, I will be reaching out to you as a second, buddy. Thank you so much.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Once again, my thanks to the folks at BeWater. Terry Radford also with here tonight, courtesy of Martin Sports. Terry, I hear you're giving out some gloves tonight.
Yeah, we are. It's awesome, and I appreciate Jordan for letting me come on board with Martin Sports to do this and be a part of this series. For Grant, Aaron, Drew, and Gabriel, your champion, thank y'all so much for racing and being the model of consistency here. I'm going to give 4 gloves away now, so for the tie down there between those two, we appreciate everything you do, and I can't wait for y'all to send a tweet out of y'all winning some races into Martin Sports gloves.
Big shout out to everybody over at Martin Sports, the Michigan company, and again, that amazing sponsorship and support from BeWater. For everybody over there at Green Concepts and Martin Sports, for Jordan Bain putting this together, for Repeat selecting me to merely fill in. This is his league, and I was privy to be called upon to fill in and try and fill the seat of the great Repeat 1975. For all you fans at home, all the drivers, and everybody listening to this, we can't do these races without you. Thank you so much. Please tune in to what we have coming for you in the future. Give us a follow, give us a subscription, and if you just want to talk racing, drop a message. Say hi. It's what we're all about. Until that next race, until that next season, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we absolutely will see you all around the